everybody, want to hear, what you got to say, man. And
Hmm.
what I wanted to ask you was this. All right, we're gonna start like this. So, how did you meet Stokey, and tell us a little bit about, the relationship and what it means to you.
Well, the funny thing is, we knew the mutual same people already. So this was around 1999.
Hmm.
99. We knew some of the same people, but we had never really met. And we was together in a situation where as though we was both in a turmoil in our life, going through a court battle situation, and we became cellies. And the funny thing about it was that I was so laid back that people used to be like, I'm so laid back and didn't understand it at the time, but my mindset was stuck on something. And Stokey came and we became cellies, and we got to talking and communicating, because the funny thing was, when I first became a celly, he was already there, and he was like telling the people, I don't want no roommate. I don't want no roommate, because, and when you're going through a situation, you got so much going through your mind that you really don't have time for other people. You got to find yourself. And
Right.
that's going through court battles and jail, sometimes it can help you find yourself, but it can also crush you even more, because I think sometimes we take them situations and let it get the best of us. You know what I mean? So with that
Hmm.
being said, we became cellies, and really got a great relationship with just talking. And I was up first, and it was a funny thing about it was that it was during the time we had just started Rockaware, and they used to send me these packages, and they sent me this sweatsuit, and we sat in the room, and I was like, man, I don't care nothing about none of this stuff, you know what I mean? Because I was so busy, I was focused on more or less, what I'm ready to do and how I'm gonna get through this situation, more or less than worrying about how good I was gonna look going on a visit. And he was like, man, I need that sweatsuit. And I was like, man, take all this. And he looked at me and was like, you really gonna give it to me? I'm like, this none of this the material stuff never mean nothing to me. So we just became real tight. And then one day I came back and I told him, I said, yo, and he seen me so calm when after I came from court. And he was like, what happened? I was like, man, listen, I just feel like, my back against the wall, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot going on, and I don't want these people to take my whole life away from me. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a plea to get out the way. He was like, really? Because he was contemplating this whole time, like, what he should do. And I was like, yeah. So he's like, what you gonna take a plea for? And I was like, I'm gonna take a plea for 210 months.
Hmm.
He was like, calculated that up and was like, what? Are you crazy? And I was like, nah, man, listen, you know, I don't agree with everything the government is bringing to me. I think there's a lot of, lot they was putting on me that was bullshit. But I looked at it like I have a chance to still, finish this chapter and start my next chapter. So I looked at it like that. Did I know how I was going to do the time or how I was going to work out? I didn't. I was just prepared. And he was like, he thought about it. And then after I left, he wrote me a letter and said, yo, you helped me. I helped him understand what was in front of him. And he looked at it different when it came time for him to go to court, because I said, yo, we're going to have a chance to meet back up. And that's what happened. We went through that process, and by Allah's grace, we was brought back together. He ended up going with one of my codies, and them two going in the halfway house together, and we reconnected. Like, I feel like, people don't realize sometimes, going to jail don't mean everybody bad people. We just sometimes did bad, was in bad situations. We made bad choices. So, there was just a chapter, and I came home, he came home, and we got back together. It was just like when two good people get together, I feel like ain't nothing but something great can come out of it. And we both think the same on how we can help each other, how we can help our families, and how we can help our community. And our bond just grew even more. You know what I mean? Like I consider him, one of my closest friends and brothers.
Man, that's what's up, man. Man. So, man, that was dope, man, for sure. So let me ask you, man, like, so where you from? Because a lot of people, they probably don't know, man. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? They may just be hearing a story for the first time. A lot of people, they hear, know you rock with Jay and all that. They probably,
Yeah.
maybe think you're from New York or whatever like that, man. But tell everybody where you from.
Man, the reality is, I'm from a small town called Cambridge, Maryland, in Maryland, on the Eastern Shore. The beautiful thing about Cambridge was, my blood lineages, it runs so deep, being, from it's run through the Harriet Tubman bloodline. Just growing up in Cambridge gave me a different perspective because, when you go back and look at Black history books, they got Cambridge in there with H. Rat Brown and all them going to war. And from that and the Underground Railroad going through Dorchester County, so it's a lot of lineage. But I was blessed to have family on both sides in the DC area and Baltimore area. So I've always been in touch with city life since a kid. And then, through the grace of running the streets, I was blessed to, go to New York for my first time when I was 15 to Brooklyn. And that became my second home. It was like, I spent most of my time either home just to go to school, but then, after that was more Brooklyn. So it was like to be blessed to have, that family, growing up Southfield, but then to be exposed to Brooklyn, New York back in 88 on up, it gave me a different mindset. So, I feel blessed that I look at the things that I tell people all the time. Everything happens for a reason. The good, the bad, the ugly. I don't have no regrets. I wouldn't change nothing. All that stuff and all them people that I got a chance to come across and be involved with helped me become the man I am right now.
All right. So what's your top two goals, man?
My top two goals. One, honestly, I've always been a fashion guy. So, what you see me doing now with, the Bet on Yourself and the Puma stuff and the Rock Nation paper plane and all the stuff I got my hands in with, me and my brother Biggs just dropped the Barney's Rock 96 collection, it was in Barney's and, a bunch of other stuff and what I do with New Era and everything else. Like, I really got my goals set on something bigger than money. You know what I mean? I feel like with this paper plane thing, I feel like why can't I have something that had this sustain, just that can sustain, just like Ralph Lauren, like how the polo horse is. So my goal is I want this paper plane to be here forever. You know what I mean? To pass on to my grandkids, the great grandkids, and on. And it's not all about the money because I feel like, if you build the right legacy, the money gonna come with it, But I'm here to build a legacy. I feel like, what you see us doing with, from starting with Rockefeller to Rock Nation to everything going on, I think you gotta look at it from a bigger picture. It's not about one thing. When you look at culture itself, culture is everything. And I just feel like, I want to be etched in the history books that I was able to pass something on to, like I said, people that I meet on a regular basis, going through neighborhoods. And, last week I was in LA and I went to support my guy, Nipsey Hussle, and his neighborhood in Crenshaw. And, guys coming up to me like how much I inspired them. You know what I mean? That it's like you give us that hope that regardless that I'm running the streets right now, when I do want to take a chance on myself, to bet on myself, the opportunity is there. I want to create a legacy that's bigger than a hat or a shirt. You know what I mean? I want the legacy to be bigger than that, just an item. You know what I mean? That's my main thing. And then the other thing is really like I'm a mama's boy. You know what I mean? So being a mama's boy and watching how my mom raised me to be the man I am, I just feel like her legacy needs to be more intact than what it is. And, I want to live the rest of my life making sure that my lineage of what my family stood for and where they came from that helped me be me, be heard, be seen, and be felt.
Yeah, I think one thing you said, man, that's real important is it even struck with me is like, you talk about, leaving a legacy, man. I think that, when you think about mindset, right? Like, 'cause like I said, I got a lot of people on the call tonight, man. We got like 700, a little over 700 people on the call so far, and it's going up every time I look at it. And, a lot of these people on the call, man, they're either interested in real estate or some type of business. A lot of people on the call to hear you tonight, talk about this exact thing. And I just think it's important what you're saying, because again, it's all about mindset, man. And a lot of people, got to understand that it's bigger than just, making a couple of dollars right now. It's bigger than just, I want to do a couple real estate deals. So I kind of want to open up this business or this and that. They don't really just for the money, not really. So it's a marathon, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it
I mean,
is
think
about
about it. Think about it, right? Growing up, I was always taught, you know what I'm saying, go to school, finish school, get a job, right? So
yeah,
that right there, they already teaching us wrong from the door, because nobody's giving us that tool to say, be more. You know what I mean? Nobody's telling us go get a career. Like, we got to break the molds there. I think that's the reason why I didn't have a problem connecting with you, what you do, because it's not about real estate with me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I feel like that's just one tool in the legacy. You know what I'm saying? Why not start to own something and have ownership? You know what I mean? I think, we walk around and own everything else. You know what I mean? We go spend that money on a pair of Gucci shoes and look in the closet. We own all the clothes in the closet. When you add that up, shit, that was a house for somebody later on, right? But
yeah,
but but you have nothing to go, because if that trend leaves tomorrow, them clothes leave tomorrow.
right,
You know what I mean? So
right,
I look at it. I look at it from that, like, that legacy means something. It's like, you know, everybody's not gonna always reach the top,
mm-hmm,
but reaching the top ain't always the end all, the be all. You know what I mean? Because guess what? We know a lot of people at the top is lonely and sad and have nothing inside. They're empty shell. You
right,
know what I mean? So it's all about, legacy with some substance. You know what I mean? I'm big on substance. Why not? Why not let us be the first generation to break the mold for the generations that come after us? Why not?
right. Yeah, man. And no, I agree with you 100%. And I couldn't agree with you more, man. For sure. So let me ask you this now. A lot of people on the call may know, or some may have heard your story or may not know, but I know you had introduced me to Beehive, and I came up there in the office and I got to sit down and talk to you in Beehive, and that was real dope. I
Mm.
appreciate that, man. And you was telling a story about not to get all into it, but like back in the day, man, when you guys had first started, Rockefeller and all that, right? So what I wanted to ask you is like, what was your mindset? Because you've been around, from what I know, you've been around the process from the very beginning, man, and to be a part of something like that. And I remember because I remember you just said something else that stuck out to me when I came up there and I met with you, and you was just talking about mindset. And I remember you said, and I never forget, you was like, man, how you think, we got up here on the 39th floor, man. It's all mindset. It's all about how you think. And I think that that's very important. So I just kind of wanted to ask you, man, just for the listeners, like, tell us a little bit about your mindset, man, from just being able to go from pretty much humble beginnings to being a part of one of the biggest companies, period, man, in our culture, man. Like,
I think for me, first it starts with patience. You know what I mean? I'm talking about patience in every aspect of life. When I first went to jail and did all that time, I had to have patience in that process, right?
yeah,
Before, right? And then while I was in it, I had to have patience to understand I can't let this get the best of me. I got to do the time, not let the time do me, right? So it was the
yeah,
patience through that. You know what I mean? The patience of, watching your kids grow without you, you know what I mean? Regardless if their relationship's still there, but they miss that, right? And then when you're talking about business, right? At the end of the day, you can't find too many people that you can count on one hand that have did it by themselves. It's always a team effort, right?
yeah,
I'm an ultimate team player. I feel like there's nothing wrong with being a team player, because I feel like I take 10 of 100, 10 times any day than 100 of something anytime, because at the end of the day, we all win. We're going to always keep each other going, right? So
right,
it's all about team player. You know what I mean? I was blessed, to have brothers and friends that, when we started this whole Rockefeller thing, and don't get me wrong, in that process, some people might look at, they missed out on some things back then because they wasn't fully involved or fully owned this. But I looked at it like this, you know, I was a part of the process. Guess what? That process helped me be where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? I played my position, and as a team player, we do certain things for the team, right? So that
Right.
means, sometimes when somebody start a business, that doesn't mean all of us got to own the business. You know what I mean? But guess what? We got to all, why not support each other before we go support somebody else and let that grow into something else better? You know what I
Right.
mean? I took pride in that. I took pride in being a part of, this process and learning and until it was time for me to make my move on what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Because I had my mindset on something. So I wanted to be patient enough to wait on when it was time for me to make my move, that I was ready to make my move.
Right, and I hope everybody paying attention to what you're saying, man, because really you dropping jewels, and I don't want it to go over nobody's head because all this relates to being in business, man, and it all relates to mindset and being successful in business. So I hope this is not going over nobody's head. I just kind of wanted to point that out, man. You talked about being patient. You talked about being a team player. You talked about how you can't do it all by yourself. Like all this is important, and I want everybody on the line just to take note of that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Because
think about it. When I go to our office, and you've been to our office, you know what I mean?
yeah,
38th, 39th floor. It's like people look at us from the outside and be like, okay, they doing something, but they don't really realize how much we doing something until you walk into our establishment and feel the vibe and feel the love and respect for each other in the building, right? But
yeah,
for me, I treat everybody the same way with respect because I feel like even when we had a guy Dominican older guy who used to come and clean up, and he just retired. And when he left, every time we would go to the Dominican Republic, he would bring me back a bottle of Bagal. Like he would always bring me a gift because when he retired, he said the respect I showed him every day meant the world to him. That I looked at him no different than I looked at everybody else because guess what? Just because he was cleaning, I looked at us. He cleaned up to make us look good, us look good.
mm,
You know,
yeah.
and that's just how I go towards life. I give the same respect that I'm looking for in return at all times.
Right. And another, I mean, that's something else that you could use in business. You know what I mean? Because that's important. It's all about relationships. So for everybody on the line listening tonight, whether you're gonna, you know, get, stay on the line, I'm gonna show you how to get started making money in real estate and building wealth, or whatever business you're into, man. Just keep in mind all of that because that's very important because it's all about relationships. Everything. It's a contact sport. When you're in business and you're an entrepreneur, it's all about relationships, and don't ever forget that. So that's very important, Emory. I'm glad that you brought that up, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
so let me ask you this, man. So what you do for Rock Nation right now?
I mean, when you come to the building, it's so funny. Everybody throws all types of names out, and everything else. But I'm more culture. I never liked the music business. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. When you see the situation where as though I was part of that, situation bringing Gotti over. It wasn't about the music. I like Gotti as a human being. I like Gotti as a hustler. You know what I mean? I looked at it more than just music.
Yeah,
I'm more the culture guy. I'm more when it comes to the fashion of pearl and that lifestyle of it. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, that has nothing to do with just being a material like a hat or some clothes. Lifestyle and culture is everything. You know what I mean? It wraps around a bunch of things. You know what I mean? Not just some garments. So that's
right.
that's me. That's me. When they come in the building, and you're like, yo, the artists or athlete come in on some cool shit, and they like, yo, I want to be even cooler. What they gonna do? They gonna bring you to my office because I think, I look at it like I feed off my brothers, and I feel like it's a good group of us, and feeding off of each other what makes me go even harder. I just feel like God put me in that place to be in tune with this fashion stuff going on and whatever. But I still learn stuff from my brothers because they do they one too just as much as I do. It's just I'm the one that's all the way in tune with it.
Right, right. So let's talk about the Rock hat, man. Did you create that?
It's a collective thing. I can't, I feel like, I went out and really, I'm gonna take credit for saying as a whole, we knew we was dealing with perception, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the perception of what Rockaware was, and everybody told us and thought that this was going to be a substitute of Rockaware. So I went out and dealt with that part of changing perception on everybody. So they, you know what I mean? So nobody didn't get caught up and think this was all about, us being a substitute for Rockaware. So, I really dug in with my energy and what changed perception. You know what I mean? That's what I did. I really fought for that process of how we had to do it because, sometimes when you're dealing with a big boat like Rockaware where so much money be made, it's easy to get caught up in how do we make another one, but it's not that simple. You know what I mean? That happened. That happened at the right time and for a reason. Now it's a new day and age, and I really went out and really put my energy into changing perception of what people thought it was going to be. Like that's what we was dealing with. We was dealing with the back against the wall was though people already shooting us down because what they thought it was going to be. Because when you look at urban and all that, then everybody talk about we're the first ones to turn our back on our own, right? So I had to do that. So I take credit in that process, but as a whole, is a collective thing, from a team collective.
Okay. So who would you say inspires you?
Shit, man. Listen, man. At the end of the day, man, you know, I'm inspired for my mom, seeing how strong she was to help me be who I am. And then, I love a lot of, I pay attention to a lot of people and love a lot of things. But when you got a big brother like Jay, I mean, that's the top of the totem pole for me when it comes to being inspired. He inspires me right now. Every day I tell him, when you wake up, I'm going to get something from him in every way, every day that I wake up and have a conversation with him, without a question. So that's my biggest inspiration right there.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And we got over almost 943 people on the call tonight, man. We about to hit 1,000 hopefully soon. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope you're picking up on these jewels and how you can relate it to being successful in your business, man. As I've been promoting this call tonight, I talked a lot about betting on yourself, right? And I know that you're real big on that. You came to a few of my seminars and you spoke a lot on betting on yourself, and I know you're real, something that's that you're real big on. So let me ask you this, man. Being that that's how you look at things, I would assume that you take risks, right?
Yes. I mean, think about it. The reason why I really got into, the bet on yourself, my nickname Vegas Jones came from a real situation. When I first went to Vegas, me, Jay, Dane, Biggs, and my best friend Big Ty, we went to Vegas, with no record deal or nothing. And Mike Tyson first came home from jail. And, we sat ringside with no deal or nothing with everybody else, right? And I'm walking around Vegas like I own it because I got off the flight and hit them for like 20,000 as soon as I got there, right? So I looked at it like, oh, it's a free trip. That's how I looked at it. I didn't look at it like saving it. Turns out that's a free trip, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it like coming from the streets and hustling and everything else. I feel like we take chances on everything else and everybody else every single day, putting our life on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, why not bet on myself? Give myself a chance. You know what I mean? To bet on myself. Why not? Why not? We bet on everything else but ourselves.
Right. Now let me ask you this, man, because I know a lot of people, that get started in business, man. Like that's one thing that they always, it's the fear. It's that fear, man. Like what are some things that you could tell people online like that might be scared to start their own business, might be scared to, get into real estate or just anything that, they have to basically bet on themselves, man. What advice can you give anybody on the line?
I mean, fear is always good. You know what I'm saying? Fear to fail is life. You know what I mean? I feel like if you find somebody who ain't never failed, then shit, that's a perfect person for me. And I don't think you're gonna find that. You know what I mean? I think about when you look at everybody who's winning big. You know what I mean? A prime example. Look at one person. I was looking at one of my favorite shows, Power. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about it. How many times 50 Cent been counted out in life?
Say it again.
You know what I mean? How many times 50 Cent been counted out in life?
How many times
has he
been counted out?
No, 50 Cent. I said Power is
Oh,
my
50,
favorite show.
50. Oh shit,
Yeah,
man, a
Power.
whole lot, a whole lot.
Power is my, you know what I'm saying? Power is one of my favorite shows, and I watched it last night, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
for example, how many times he been counted out in life? How many times you think he done failed on something, but he still come back and still winning? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
to me, the failure to fail, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of life. You know what I mean? That is what it is. But the thing is, you got to try to fail. Some of us don't even try.
Right, right, man.
You know what I mean? Because think about it. Sometimes we comfortable and content, right? Because guess
Right.
what? If you come from where we come from and you got the good job that your bills being paid, you know what I mean, you're doing better than what we used to do. Sometimes that can make you content.
Yeah.
And guess what? Being a owner of something, you know what I mean, as far as your own business, ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why the world is made up of a team. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? If you get on the right team, you might be the head of marketing, but you're getting so much good money. This company is going for this, going to sell for that later, and it's still going to work out for you. So it's not always about, you know, being the lead, but you got to
Right.
try. You got to get out your comfort zone and try.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going. That's the only way you're going to fail to be, to be successful. Really,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Whew. All right. So let me ask you this, man. Like, where do you see the culture heading? Because I know you, like you said, you're real big on culture, and anybody that follow you, can see that. Where you see it heading?
I mean, I see to me, when you see young entrepreneurs win
Yeah.
the way we see them winning, that's a great sign to me. It's regardless if we can agree or disagree, we all dealing with opinions, right? You can like this person or dislike that person. That's opinion, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them could be doing something else that be detrimental to our neighborhoods, right? So
Yeah.
when you look at it like that, I don't get into that. I love seeing us win. I love seeing us win. Because if we win, we open up the door to have an open mindset of how to better each other. Because guess what? Sometimes, a lot of stuff going on when you ain't got no opportunity and nobody's there to help you try to figure out how to feed your family. Of course, we're gonna wake up and go and be mad. So you know what it is when I'm mad and I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I'm mad. When I'm mad and hungry, that means you never know what's gonna happen, right?
Mm. Yeah. You ain't lying, man. Shit.
You know what I mean? But I think people got to get out of the fact that it's all about somebody giving them something, physically giving them something. Because guess what? Some knowledge might be more value to me. Give me some knowledge before give me some money.
Right.
Because if you give me the knowledge, I'm gonna know what to do with the money. If you give me the money with no knowledge, I ain't gonna know what to do with it. So I'm gonna be right back asking you again. Let me borrow $100.
Right. Yeah, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? That's something you said earlier make a lot of sense, and I kind of want to just tie it into the whole mindset thing. You said you gotta help each other and open up the door for a lot of people. And I think some people, when they get into business, or if they even in business right now, they so worried about competition and stuff like that, which a lot of times is really kind of just jealousy, which is really, or envy, or whatever you want to call it, for your brother or your sister, and all it's doing really is just slowing you down, because you're putting that in your subconscious. And that's one thing that you got to remember too, for everybody on the line tonight that's either going into business, going to stay on the line with me tonight and learn how to get your real estate business started. You got to keep that in mind, because it'll hold you back. It's like Emory said, it's all about opening up the door for the next person. So I kind of wanted to put that out there, whatever, for people on the line, because it's natural sometimes. You get in there, you want, and the competition come in and stuff like that, but you got to keep that open mindset that you want to help people, man. So I think that's important. And I kind of want to just point that out. So let me ask you this, Henry. Now, what would you say your best investment is? What's your best investment?
My best investment is to invest in myself. I used to never invest in myself. I used to always invest in everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I started investing in myself. And I think when I started investing in myself, I think that's where my awareness come from, me becoming a brand. because it's bigger than anything else. I think the value of me is not in one particular thing. It's about how I turn who I am and what I stand for into a brand as itself. So now as a brand, I can walk into anywhere and go get a check. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? They calling me now because once I'm in tune and they know I'm in tune, that's the thing. A lot of people not in tune, but they need somebody to help them be in tune. So when I invested on me personally to create my brand of who I am and what I stand for, that's the best investment I've ever made than anything.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this segment up, man. And before we do, well, for everybody on the line tonight, I just want to tell you what's going to happen. So we're gonna do a quick, well, not really too quick, but I'm gonna open up the floor to ask Emory some questions. We're gonna do a Q&A. And then right after that, we're going to get into the real estate segment of the call. And then I know a lot of people probably wondering about the $1,000 cash giveaway. We're going to do that in the second half of the call. So basically, we're going to do a Q&A right now, open it up for you guys to ask Emory some questions. Then we're going to get into the real estate segment. Then after that, we're going to do another Q&A. And when we do the Q&A for the real estate segment, with the 10th caller that's selected is going to be the winner of the $1,000. So make sure you stay on the call to the end so you can be a part of that, so that it could be hopefully you. All right. So Emory, before we wrap this up, man, we got 988 people on the call right now. Is there anything that you want to leave everybody with?
I mean, it goes back to, I didn't make up this bet on yourself, just for my benefit. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everybody with all the support and love, and I really appreciate it, like humbly, like from an honest place, appreciate everything. Like anybody tell you about me and they know me personally, they know how humble of a person I am. Like if you come to me and I got two, you can get one shirt on my back and all that. So I really appreciate it. But I really didn't start this mindset and this way of thinking just for me. I really did this for us, man. Like we always, it just take a little bit, you know what I mean? And I do this saying to people all the time. How many people walk in my office and I talk and we start relationships and build relationships, and we ain't never did no personal business together ever. You know what I mean? It's just, I feel like when I was coming up, a lot of people had information to give me. It never gave me no good, positive information. And I feel like I was blessed to be around, great people in a great environment. So why not pass some of this information on? That's how I live. You know what I mean? And I really want people, to really set some goals for themselves, because if you don't set goals for yourself, other people will always run your life. Bet on yourself.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to open it up for some Q&A, everybody. So listen, if you got a question for Emory to get in the line, you got to dial *6, all right? So dial *6. We're going to open it up for the Q&A right now, all right? All right. So we just opened up the floor for the Q&A again. If you got a question for Emory, dial *6 right now, all right? We're going to start taking questions. All right. It usually take a few seconds. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right. All right, hold on. Look at this. All right, hello. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Paul Cosmo. I'm calling from Miami.
You said Paul from Miami?
Paul from Miami.
Hey, Paul.
What's up? How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great, man. It's crazy to see that I'm talking to you right now, Emory. I was just watching Diddy's Can't Stop, Won't Stop documentary. I was talking to my man about you. I was like, yo, when I see all these self-made millionaires, it gives me so much hope. And I think of your mind state constantly, to do that many years in prison and come out and to get put in that position and capitalize. I think that's a big thing. I think when people think of, oh, man, he got out of jail and Jay, put him in position, I feel like it shows the mindset you had to get out of prison and do so much in such a little time. So first and foremost, I just want to applaud you for that and say thank you for the inspiration that you give us all.
I appreciate that, because you hit on a point. It's like it's funny. I still, regardless of what Jay and them, brought to the table for me, I still have to have the mindset to capitalize off of it. And I tell people all the time, don't fault me for having a great brothers, man. Don't fault me for that. You know what I mean? Don't fault me for that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. I know a lot of people, situations that they have opportunities and fuck opportunities up. But don't fault me. I'm just playing the hand I was dealt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I played the hand I was dealt when I was in bad times, and I'm playing the hand that was dealt in good times. So don't fault me for having great brothers.
Yes, sir. Now, my question is pretty simple. To be honest with you, I got on this call because of my man girlfriend. I'm a fan of the whole brand, but I'm an up and coming rapper. I know this ain't the time for this, but I would love to get some music to you anyway. I'm coming down to New York actually in about 2 weeks. I know nobody can just come up to Emory Jones and play music, but if there was any way I could get my music to you, meet up with you when I'm down there, anything.
I tell you what I do, right? My guy Stokey, who all this is powered by, he gonna connect with you, get your info, right? And go from there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't like the music business, and people tell you that all the time. But guess what? I'm always open for a good, honest conversation, regardless what. I'm not gonna say dreams on. I'm looking for artists and really want to talk music because that's just not my thing. You know what I mean? But I always straight up about it. But guess what? You know what I mean? I love when somebody approach me the right way, and I don't have a problem. You know what I mean? Reciprocate that back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, should I wait and get in touch with anybody, or?
Mark will figure out how to handle that, right, Mark? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we were waiting on you, Mark.
Yeah, one of them can handle that though. I don't know. We lost somebody sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I'll ask the questions I got for you, Emory, while we wait. Let's keep it a buck. So the story is legend of how you guys went through Vegas and shut it down, basically. So my question to you is, at that age, young, you guys are getting all this money, and what kept you guys with that mindset of, this isn't just like the money we're getting now. Everybody's thinking of cars and this and that, but you guys were thinking of building a brand. How did that mindset come into play?
Hey, excuse me, real fast. I'm sorry, man. My phone, I had dropped my phone real quick. We got to move on to the next caller, but look, shoot me an email to mark@realestatemoneyclub.com, and we'll go from there as far as the music situation, all right? Because we really got to move on, man. I apologize.
It's all good.
All right, have a good night, man.
So shoot that info to him, okay, Miami? Shoot that to him.
Yes, sir. Mark at realestatemoney.com.
Real Estate Money Club.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Thank you.
All right,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, how you doing, gentlemen? My name is Jermis Rodriguez. I'm right here from New York City, Washington Heights, to be specific.
Okay, the Heights. What's up, the Heights?
Yeah, you already know, man. We uptown, man. You already know that. It's pretty
I already know. A lot of family up the Heights, baby.
Yeah, we here, man. Dominicano, you already know.
Yep.
It's funny because before I ask my question, I just got a job for a company that works for Duce. I'm making a safe assumption that you have some sort of involvement with Duce, but either way, I'm about to start running around for y'all. So I saw you post that on your Instagram. I just graduated from an acting school here in New York City, and I actually reached out to you because I'm one of those that I'm like you in that way. I ask myself why not, and the older I get, I've been blessed with the ability to continue to ask myself why not, and that helps me. That helps me out with taking those risks and making those decisions. But So yeah, so basically, man, I reached out to you on Instagram. You didn't get back, but it's all good. I expected that, not because of anything negative, but we talking about one DM out of thousands and thousands of emails, tens of thousands of hit ups a day.
Right.
So it's a lottery pick. But basically, I was like, look, man, if you ever, I just graduated, or I probably was still studying at the time, so I'll probably say something like, I'm still studying, and if you need any work, I'll work for free because I'm doing it for the work. I do it for the artistry. I do it for the craft. I don't do it for the superficial and the materialistic nonsense. That's just the way I was taught. That's just my personal belief. But so yeah, and it was cool. So that's what I'm about. And I definitely respect you, and I definitely respect your history, and I love what you said about legacy, and I love what you said about respect and treating everyone equally. Because at the end of the day, we all skin and bone. We all pretty much the same, and that's what it's all about. And that'll bring us further. But anyway, my question is, sir, a young artist like myself, what advice do you give me for someone who's frustrated with the mediocrity and the excuse my language, but the bullshit. Like, I'm 26 years old. I've been tired of the bullshit since I was probably 16, and I just feel like I have the ability to see through things. And now that I know the craft and I have that under my belt, and I know what acting is, no one will ever be able to take that away from me, other than put in the work.
Right.
How do you deal with that? Like, I mean, it frustrates me and it's unhealthy because it legitimately stresses me out.
I think what you gotta look at first, right? You gotta look at perfecting what you are and who you are and what you want to do, right? I think a lot of times when we look at mediocrity through what everybody else doing, and we say they on some bullshit and why this and why he's getting by with that. Sometimes you got to take that out the fold, because I think you're putting too much energy on what somebody else is doing or not doing, right? Because that's never going to change. This ain't nothing. I tell people all the time, like, everybody got a thing with the Lil Yachty's and everybody else, but I've been around this a long time, and it's always been the fun rapper, the gangster rapper, the poetic rapper, the justice. It's always been that. So I'm like, we can't knock them for being not what we want them to be. That's just not for us. I think the beauty of it is when you feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? When it's something out there that feeds you, and that gets you, feeds you, I think that helps you understand everything else. I think sometimes it's oversaturated, whereas though you don't get to feed yourself, right? And when you don't get to feed yourself, you know what it is when you're hungry. When the mama ain't giving you your substance, you hungry. So when you're hungry, you got an attitude, you got everything. I think that's the problem. So sometimes you just got to dig back into those things that feed you. And you got to take out the fold of what the next man doing or not doing, or if he's up to your quality. You get what I'm saying? Because that's where the frustration comes from. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can only perfect yourself. You know what I mean? People going to be what they're going to be, regardless if we like them or don't like them. I think once you do that, you can understand the mediocrity in your eyes better. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So basically, I got to make it a habit of just not necessarily pretending like it's not there, but just like let it go. Cause I mean, that's where I'm at anyway. Because that little bit of energy, whether it's with that day, that moment in time, whether it's a lot of energy or a little bit, is a little bit too much that could go towards what I'm trying to do.
No, it's way too much. It's way too much. As though we got too much other stuff to worry about.
Right. I felt like I had to have a voice, knowing what I know, but that's not necessarily me being humble. Like how that's my belief too. That being humble is important, because like I just feel like I know enough, so I should have a voice. And then it gets deeper because it's like I see my people like losing their integrity out there, but it's too much. I guess we have way too much to do. There's too much work to be done.
It's not happening it's not happening overnight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we can always point out the bad stuff and stuff that needs to be worked on, but nobody points out some of the good stuff that is going on and some of the progress that is going on. You know what I mean? Let's stop focusing on the negative side of everything, and let's pull out some positive and feed off the positive, not just feed off the negative.
Because you're not really eating. It's like flesh can't feed the soul.
At all. All this. That's it. All that's let me get to this point, boy. All that's going to do is eat you from the inside out. And once it eats you from the inside out, you already know what the action going to be from there.
Word. Emory, man, listen, I know you got to go. I appreciate you two gentlemen. Like, this is, this is literally a one in a lifetime opportunity. Like, you where
I appreciate you calling in.
Want to be. No, definitely. I just came to listen. I didn't even think this was gonna happen. Shit, I might win the stack. But for real, this is a hell of an opportunity. I got my notes. These notes, I guarantee, will take me a long way, man. I don't know what else to say, but thank you, and I wish you wealth and health, man, for you and your fam, man.
All right, thank you for calling, man.
Thank you, man. Have a good evening.
You too, man.
All right. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Name Mark. I'm calling from Baltimore.
What's up, Mark?
Man, my question, Emory, he speaks a lot about the brotherhood, man. But my question is, I'm a guy like myself. I get a shirt off of my back as well. But at what point, when you feel like you're just not getting nowhere, do you break that brotherhood and become selfish? Because their intent is the same as yours. Like it's a tough decision I've been struggling with for so long, man.
No, but I think, listen, I think, you know what? It took me the last 3 years to get to that point of finally being able to say, you know what? Enough is enough. Sometimes because you on brotherhood time, everybody else ain't on brotherhood time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motives ain't always there. I think that was one of the hardest parts for me out of my whole life, because I didn't want people to change me from being me. But then I kept back saying, wait a minute, I'm keep getting the short end of the stick of this. So I had to, in the last 3 years, I really had to put my foot down and say, you know what? Sometimes you got to break them chains, man. Sometimes it is what it is. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You can't. I'm not gonna question the law no more. I'm not gonna question what God has in store. You know what I mean? Sometimes certain people are not meant to be in the brotherhood. I don't care how long you done grew up with them. I don't care how long y'all done been through this and that. Sometimes we grow up with people and you know, we done been through so much, but guess what? In life, sometimes we grow apart too. And you just grow apart. Because guess what? If I'm on some going up and they still want to go down or to the left, sometimes you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. And at the end of the day, that ain't saying you don't love your brother, but sometimes you got to move on, because you can't make somebody realize where you're trying to go if they're not trying to go too.
Right. Thanks a lot, man.
And that's another jewel right there that just got dropped on some business, just on some business shit, like, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hurtful though, man. Sometimes to know that that's what I gotta do, man, it hurt me, man. You know.
And listen, it hurts you because that's a good person speaking, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think that takes away from you as being a good person if you want more in your life and some people around you don't want it. I don't think you can hold that accountable for self. You see what I'm saying? You can't put that pain on you too. Yeah, that means you're gonna just wear it all. You can't do that either. Sometimes you got to break that off. And guess what? Sometimes when you break that off, it might make that brother that you know is a good dude go realize that he got to change some things up, and it come back full circle.
Right.
All right. Well,
thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, Mark. Thanks for calling in, Mark.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Hello, what's your name and where you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, it's my turn? Okay, my name is Tina Hawkins, and I'm calling from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Hey, Tina, how you doing?
How you doing, Tina? Louisiana. How you doing?
I know. Have y'all ever heard of this city?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Really?
Yes, I have.
Oh, wow. That is very surprising. Basically, I was calling in. I'm trying to make my story as short as possible. Long story short, I'm attending real estate school at this point. I had a life-changing experience. Like a year ago, I was at a job that I was very comfortable with. I've been there for like over 10 years, and they laid me off, you know. So now I had to make a decision in my life, like, what do you want to do? Because I stay in a very small city, and when I tell you there's no job, and every day you turn on the news, at least 10 people have been shot up, someone got killed. So, I mean, it's not a lot of opportunity here. So I'm trying to do something different. And I've been doing a lot on my own because I do have a fiance, but he's been locked up in the Fed for about 10 years. He's an honest to God, good guy. He just made bad decisions in his life running with the wrong people. Um, so now, like, I don't know anyone that I can talk to or to help me, get to where I'm trying to go in life with this real estate thing. So I reached out to this lady in Atlanta. Atlanta, she's a realtor, and I think she deals with celebrities or whatever, but she's helping me through this real estate thing, and I appreciate her so much. But my question that I needed to know, because at first it started off as that I just wanted to, sell homes and stuff, but now it's kind of like bigger than that for me. I have two girls. One graduates next year from high school. I'm so proud of her. But now I'm thinking that I want to do something different, like own something, like maybe be on a brokerage company or something like that. But it seems like beyond my grasp. But I know anything is possible. But I'm having such a hard time now. So like anything that you can tell me that would help me get through this with this, basically, with this situation would be very helpful.
I'm gonna say this. Mark is the real estate guy, so he knows that well. But from a personal human being standpoint, of like you say, you was in a situation, job 10 years and laid off. Sometimes did you ever look at that situation as might being a blessing for you?
I did. You know what? I did. I honestly, because I always knew in the back of my mind it was something different that I wanted to do with my life, but I was so comfortable because, like, so when you get somewhere, you're making a little bit of money, you be comfortable, but you know that's not for you. That's basically what I think. I think God was like, you know what? I got to do something because you're not gonna move unless I move. And that's what happened. And I know I'm a qualified administrator, and I mean every job that I try to put in an airport, they deny me like no. Like you qualified, but you overqualified or something like that, so it's not for me. So
yeah, and at the end of the day, I think sometimes God does things to motivate us, right? And I think that's what he's doing. He's motivating you because when you go to them jobs and you put in for a job that you overqualified, but you're willing to take less because of the situation, he's telling you don't settle. He's telling you don't settle. Why settle?
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, why settle? I think, that's what we do. We settle so much. He's telling you, no, it's not time to settle no more. It's no time. It's not time for that. You know what I mean? The baby girl, she ready to go out of high school and all that. It's like, you got to keep leading by example because guess what? You're probably her number one. She relates to you in so many ways. Moms is nothing like, it's like no other. So she relates. So you got to show them other avenues now that we can knock down these doors even more. You know what I mean? So you look at it as, God sent me a blessing. You know what I mean? In a situation where though, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. But what in life is easy?
Right.
Like you just said, your boyfriend or fiance, whatever, he's been gone 10 years, right? But the reason why you can still say that with energy and the love that I heard when you said that, because he a good dude. Right?
Really, he is. He really is.
He a good dude. So guess what? You taking that swipe for the fence to do more is only going to motivate him to come home and y'all do it together even more.
Exactly. We have those type of conversations all the time. Like, I know he's a natural born hustler. I mean, like when he found out I lost my job and I had to pay the more, he was like, look, I got $2,000 on my books. I'm sending it home to keep the bills up until you find something. I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Take that blessing. Take that blessing. You know what I'm saying? That was happening, even through the turmoil. You feel what I'm saying? Bring it out.
Right.
Like you say, keep taking to that skill. One thing that you're doing that a lot of people don't do, you're reaching out for info. You're reaching out for information to learn. Like the person in Atlanta right now getting on the call with Mark. Take all that info in And regardless that you in Louisiana, don't get me wrong, just because you in Louisiana might be smaller than where we at, we go through, it's the same type of trials and tribulations.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just turn that mindset. Your mindset has to be right first before anything else, because you can go start that business. If you go get that business open that you want to do, but the mindset ain't right, that means it's gonna crumble. Get the mind right first. Get the mind right
and it's
first.
hard. Yes, and it's hard because, like, when I come to my people that's in the space that's actually doing something, and I tell them, look, this is what I want to do, and I know you're doing it. Can you help me? Like, I don't ask anybody for any financial help because, that's just something I don't do, and at this time I'm at my low point. But all I ask is for guidance, and they be like, well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. No, because it's a lot of competition out here. Does anybody feel like you're doing better than them? They don't like it out here. They really don't. So it's kind of hard to, pull someone aside and be like, okay, what did you do to get to where you are? And they don't, it's like, no, you don't want to do that. It's hard. I understand it's hard. Like, I'm going to real estate school, and I thought it was going to be so easy. But all that material that you have to read upon, I was like, oh, okay. This is hard.
I got to jump in real quick. We got to wrap this up. I'm sorry. We got, we got a lot of people in the line.
I understand.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good night. All right, and just for everybody too that's in line, we're gonna select some more people. We gotta try to keep it to a minimum, because I want to give at least half of the people, the opportunity to speak to Emory. And actually, what I'm thinking about doing, and if anybody on tonight could just go on my Instagram and tell me the answer. Don't just comment on my last post and tell me what you think, because right now I'm just thinking, like, man, the conversations we're having are so good, and I talked about earlier about how everything is about mindset, right? Not so much about the real estate. And I'm kind of thinking about, I don't know how much time you got, Emory, but I was thinking about maybe kind of just extending this Q&A a little bit, and then for everybody, just giving everybody a free real estate training that I usually, wouldn't give away for free. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it just to kind of keep this conversation going, because I just think that this is really important. But I don't know. Just let me know what y'all think. But anyway, let's keep it moving. All right. Hello. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Bathsheba Barnes. At One Sheba Baby on Instagram.
Where are you calling from, Bathsheba?
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, hello to you both.
How you doing?
I am so very well. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Amen. And I'm going to be honest with you. During your whole spiel, I've just been saying amen, amen. This is my first time being on one of your calls, Mark. I know I've emailed you a couple times when my issue was happening when I first signed up a while ago for your program and whatnot. And I do appreciate you for offering a program at the rate that you did. I just wanted to say that because it has been amazing to me. Thank you.
Let me ask you, are you one of the members?
Yeah, I am. I'm both, actually. I actually signed up for the it was like a $20 thing at first, and then I ended up paying for the actual $100 and something.
Oh yeah, $19.99. What you think about the lesson so far for everybody on the call that might not be a member of the?
I've completed them, and if y'all go to my Instagram, I haven't been posting on Instagram much. I'm glad I just got this call because you go on my Instagram. I don't even have it on my phone anymore. But if y'all go in there, y'all see one of my my last posts on where I try to acquire a property. I didn't try to, but I have. So actually, although I'm not in Baltimore and I didn't send you a picture of, my first check, just know that I am in motion, and it is all because of you, and I thank you,
thank you.
for everything, because it was so step-by-step guided, simple, just amazing.
So did you make the money already?
I made some money. Hey,
how much you made? Tell us how much you made.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so I went through a private private money lender, and I had got a loan from him, which is 12% interest rate for a year, whatever. But it was $80,000. Hear me out.
Wow. I made $80,000.
$80,000. I got the house for $30,000. Only because the guy who owned it prior to had a lien on it, a tax lien. So it was $30,000. When I put we rehabbed it and everything, I sold it. I sold it for $150,000 50 something. So I really got more than, but I gave my partner.
Yeah.
Good. But God is good. Amen. So.
Amen. Okay.
Amen.
Okay.
Look, everybody listening. Look, I gotta plug myself now. Shameless plug. Y'all heard that, right?
If I'm on here, Mark, I need to borrow something then.
Yeah.
No, God is good. I'm trying to get where y'all are. And actually, go ahead and plug yourself, Mark, because I got something to say to Miss Emory.
All right, I just want to plug everybody. So everybody heard it, right? She joined my real estate money club for $19.99 a month, and she was able to use those same principles and strategies to profit $80,000. Now, if that's not empowering the community and educating the community and everything about it, I don't know what is. So just make sure that you go to realestatemoneyclub.com right now. Actually, go to this realestatemoneyclub.com/family, and that's where you can go at to sign up and become a member of the club. It's $19.99 a month. You're going to get 7 lessons. You're going to work with me weekly. I do the Q&A coaching calls. I'm sure some of my members on the call probably already know how dope that is. But yeah. So that's great. I appreciate that testimony.
No, amen. And I actually would encourage them. I don't know if you're still offering it, but when to get if they want to like start now and like get the lessons sooner than every week, then.
Right. You can upgrade. Yeah, you can upgrade. It's only $147. But if you can't, if you don't have the money,
penny.
$19.99 a month, and that's why I priced it like that because listen, I could be out here like these seminar gurus charging everybody 30, 40 grand, 50 grand, but I don't do that because that's not my passion. My passion is to help my community. It's like I said when I first started. When I first started this business, right, and I was seeing the type of money that I was making, I was like, yo, I want to share this with all my people because if I can do it, they can do it, and to hear your testimony, for you to go ahead and follow my, my strategy to make that kind of money is just a blessing.
And if anybody want to team up with me, like, I'm all for that as well. One Shiva Baby on Instagram. Follow me, message me. I'm all for it.
Hey, listen, I like how you got your plug in too. You know how to drop. You know how to drop that plug in too. You know how to drop that plug in too.
Amen. And I just wanted to. Okay, so honestly, it really wasn't specifically a question. Well, my son dad actually got a picture. You know that picture that you posted, Mr. Mark, for Mr. Emory on the couch.
Yeah.
Yes.
My son dad, he manages a baseball player, and they actually took the same picture on that same couch. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. But my question, well, actually, it's more of a thank you for what you've just said at the beginning of this call. When you had spoke about just falling back and then being a part of somebody else's business and letting them strive and succeed, and then when your time was that time, when you decided to like, okay, now it's my time to branch off and do my thing because now I'm more equipped mentally, and I never, honestly, I didn't think of it that way because I always thought that I had to do everything on my own and do it, they're not going to help me, so I'm going to help myself. And then why should I help? I just want to say thank you for just making that statement because it really enlightened me. And that's why I said, like, if anybody is really serious about, teaming up or, just going off of what Mr. Mark has set forth for us, then I am all for it. And I just wanted to say thank you for that because that was awesome. So, like I said,
thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
No, thank
you for calling in.
Have a great night, y'all.
Right.
You too. You too.
So the results is in. Everybody's on my Instagram telling me to keep the conversation going. Somebody said that what they say? They said and a huge thanks to Mr. Emory Jones, some of the realest information ever. No amount of money can buy these life lessons. Real talk 100. So what I'm going to do is, everybody, because everybody's on my Instagram telling me to keep this conversation going. So what I'm going to do is I want y'all to email me at mark@realestatemoneyclub.com, and I'm going to send everybody a free real estate lesson, which is going to pretty much cover what I was going to go over tonight. So that way, for time's sake, we can keep this conversation going, All right, that's cool with you, Emory?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me see who's next. All right. Hello. What's your name and where you calling from?
Crystal from Mount Vernon.
Hey, Crystal. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Hello, Crystal.
Hi, Emory.
How you doing?
So my question is, how do you go about betting on yourself slash believing in yourself when you've kind of grown up with, family members and people around you that don't believe in you?
Well, I think a lot of times they don't believe because that's all they know. So they just feeding off of what has been passed on to them, right? So a lot of times when something is passed on to somebody, that's why we always stuck in that cycle, right? It's like nowadays I tell people when you got kids, right? Kids are really sponges, right? They sponges on what you give them. So nowadays, if you give them, if we feed them something positive, they know how to run with it. If we sit around the house and teach them every song that's going on, every little cool thing that was going on, having them in conversations, they're gonna run with that, right? So it's nothing but a cycle, right? And sometimes you can't get them to change their mindset until you show them, right? And when you show them, now they got to look at it different. You might need to be the first one in the family to break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? You might need to be the first one because once you break that cycle, it's like a trickle effect. We all can gravitate to it. You know what I mean? A lot of times I have to say, because growing up, when you random situations and all you've seen is bad and nothing good, then that's all you know. So you feed off of it. You know what I mean? Be the one to break that cycle. Be the one to break that cycle in the sense of, yes, I understand they don't believe, but guess what? When you do what you have to do, and it's written in front of you, and it's all positive, and it's all some good and some great things happening in your life, guess what? I guarantee you they start to pay attention. I guarantee you the mindset changes. And if it don't change, it means like, yo, you got to look at it like they're their family, but guess what? Keep that energy over there. I don't need that bad energy over here.
Yeah, I think part of it stems from their religious background. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so they tend to believe like just let God or Jehovah handle everything. You don't have to go to school. You could just have a regular 9 to 5 and you'll be taken care of. But I want more than that for myself. But it's just like I have no family support, no support, to get to where I want to be in life. So that's what I struggle with.
I think, sometimes when you look at religion, you know what I mean, and I was always taught to study all religions, you know what I mean, because so to have a better understanding. And, and it's not to knock, your family's religion. I just think, is it a point of life or as though what do you want to do with your life? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you have to do what you feel is best for your life. And I think you take some of the great qualities that come from having a family who's in Jehovah's Witness, take some of that great qualities that there's some great qualities there, add that on to where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. And then balance it out from there and figure out the rest from there. You know what I mean? Because like you said, they might look at it in a certain way, but guess what? You might not be feeling the whole, like, I'm trying to do something better with my life or career-wise, more than just getting a job 9 to 5. But guess what? You still have some things that I know was there that gave you some good traits, some good qualities, right? Take that part and then do what you got to do. That's how you got to look at it. It's all about breaking that cycle. Like, it goes right back to that. Break that cycle. I ain't saying it was all bad. I ain't saying they thinking it's all bad. You know what I mean? It's not for me to say. I'm just saying take some of them good things that you know that then help you get to where you at now as a person and turn that into where you're trying to go for the rest of your life.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, have a good night.
Thank you. Right. You too.
You're welcome. All right. Hey, Emory. So we got a lot of people, man, that want to ask questions, and I know you got a busy schedule. I don't know what you got going on. So whenever you're ready to, you got something to do.
I'm gonna take 2 more questions, man. 2 more questions. Right, there's always another time. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some, I got some personal family issues I got to get on the road for and go see the family tomorrow. So I need to get situated for that.
Understood. All right. Hello. What's your name and where you calling from?
Baltimore. Tevin from Baltimore.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, I know. Listen, you ain't even had to say you from Baltimore. I heard that. You know what I mean? I heard that.
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
That was like half my question for real, man. How do you stay focused to come up out of here, man?
With me, it's so funny, right? People all the time, and Stokey will tell you, like, I think people understand me more now because, like, even though I got up out of that, I love to go back. Even with all the madness going on, I have a chance to see the beauty inside of all the madness because, you know, we get put up on TV for all the bad things, right? And I tell people all the time, like, in a place like Baltimore, I ain't never been to a place like Baltimore in my life, right? It's different, right? But through all that madness, they never show the love there, right? Because think about it, when you grow up, you know, you might have one parent in jail, the other parent getting high, or you know what I mean, or vice versa, or dead, or whatever, right? But nobody shows the family next door with such and such grandma gave us all love. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They never showed that side of all that turmoil outside, right? But somebody's family or somebody's mom took me in and made sure I had a meal every day. They don't show that love side of what Baltimore is, right? So with me, when I see all that, I even through all that madness, I go back because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me understanding that, yo, life ain't gonna be easy. Baltimore is one of those places that make you look at life and say, life ain't gonna be it's far from easy. But guess what? If I can figure this out here and have a mindset and patience enough to say I want more than what's offered, I can make it anywhere.
That's deep,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And it starts with a mindset because you're not ducking it. And don't get me wrong. Even when we talking about Baltimore, I feel like when you meet people other places, you got to go meet them. They going through the same shit, the same thing, and everything else. But guess what? At the end of the day, you got to want to break the cycle. Again, it's going back to that cycle. I don't have all the answers how you break that cycle, but it starts with your mindset first. It starts with you first because you can only speak for you. You can only vouch for you first. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it might take us to walk outside when a dude around in the hood know he on some bullshit and want to start some bullshit, but it might take you to say, you know what, homie, you got that, man. I hope you have a blessed day than being the one to react to that.
True, indeed. Yeah, that's what's up.
You get what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And that's what I'm saying. It starts there. It starts there.
Right.
So that's what we're gonna do. All right, thank you. You said Tevin, right? Kevin?
Yeah, I just sent you an email too. I'm definitely trying to get in that real estate.
All right, man, for sure. So
appreciate you calling.
Yeah, thank you, man. So for everybody calling again, I'm just gonna plug it real fast. I got a membership site that's called the Real Estate Money Club. It's $19.99 a month. That's less than $20. You're going to get 7 lessons. You're going to work with me weekly. And also, you're going to have the opportunity to get on calls just like this to speak directly so I can answer all your questions related to real estate. You can sign up at realestatemoneyclub.com/family. All right, that's where you can sign up at to become a member. Now, Emory, if you could just do me a favor, man. Like, I forgot.
I got one more call, man. I said 2 calls. I got one more. I got one more.
All right, well, look, he called it, so look.
I'm a man of my word. I got one more call, and I got to go.
All right, one more call, and this call right here is going to be the person that's going to win $1,000 tonight, all right? So whoever this last person is going to be the winner of the $1,000, right? All right, so here we go. I'm just going to close my eyes and pick randomly. All right. Let's see. Close my eyes. All right. Damn, hold on. My finger slipped, my bad. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Siobhan, how you doing, Mark? That's so crazy because I really believed I was winning this stack.
Oh wow!
But I didn't call to ask any questions. That's what's crazy. I called just to really thank you for real. I thank you as well, Emory, for the knowledge you dropped. And it's just so crazy to me because it's like alignment. Like everything you said is how my mindset is. So, however, I jumped back out there. You mentored me last summer or the summer before last?
Siobhan. Oh yeah, Siobhan, what's going on?
This real estate. But however, like I resigned from my job immediately to force myself to get back into real estate, and I've been rebranding myself. And like, yeah, and it's the first call I got to get on since you had them. I've been noticing you've been having them, so this like so crazy.
Yeah, it is. You still got my contact information?
Yes, I do.
All right, hit me up so we can meet up, and I can give you the $1,000. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
When I see you, I just want a double shot or something. No, I'm just joking.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. But I really got on the call for real, just like I said, to thank you, because you like really through all the information I ever purchased. I actually went to real estate class through Long and Foster since I last seen you. I passed the Maryland law part and failed the national part. However, I ain't mad about it. However, like I really was determined. So like I said, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I haven't done anything besides like spent a couple of dollars on marketing so far. So I haven't actually jumped back out there, but like my whole strategy, my whole life depended on real estate. So I definitely was going to get back in contact with you anyway. But I wanted to get on a call just to, get back into the information that you kick out and what you give out or what you distribute, sell, whatever the case may be. It definitely works because my phone definitely was ringing, and you know that from the marketing strategy you gave me. You feel me? With a lot of experience. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm just happy to be back in the game.
All right, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad that we reconnected on this type of situation or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for that stack too. So I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you when you end the call, and we figure out the rest.
I don't know if my number's still the same though. So just shoot me an email. Well, just email me because I think I changed my number.
The email too. Yeah, I will. I'll email you.
Yeah, Mark at Real Estate Money Club.
Say that one more time.
It's
Say it again.
Mark at realestatemoneyclub.com.
Okay. I'm about to do that now.
Hit me up. All right, Siobhan.
I will.
All right.
Thanks again.
All right. So we're going to wrap up the Q&A, everybody. Emory, man, I just wanted to take the time, man, to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to get on this call with me tonight and help me to, on my mission, man, and my passion and my dream, which is to basically, pretty much empower our community, educate our community, our culture. There's a lot of us out here who just, need another way out. And, I just want to do the best I can to provide that specialized knowledge for that to happen, man. And, with you coming in and talking about mindset and everything, and just according to my Instagram, man, my Instagram been blowing up. Everybody just talking about all the jewels you drop, man, and how much they appreciate you, man. And I just want to take this time to say thank you, man. We all, value you, man, and everything that you got to offer. Anybody on the phone tonight, you need to go follow him, man, on Instagram. It's Vegas_Jones. He always posting inspirational stuff to keep you motivated and all that. So make sure y'all go to his Instagram. Again, that's Vegas_Jones. And yeah, man, I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just very thankful and happy and blessed, man, to have you be able to come on this call tonight and educate the community, man.
I just want to say thank you for standing up and trying to give back in some kind of way. And like I said, people don't realize information is king. You know what I mean? So, keep feeding that information out there because I can see how you blessing people and other people are being blessed by the information. So I salute you on that, homie.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. And shout out again, man. Shout out to the big homie Stokey. Helped us put this whole call together, man. I'm pretty sure he on the line tonight, Stokey, man. We appreciate you. We love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing out here in the city because you definitely, around the country, man, you definitely making an impact, man. We all feel it, so.
Keep inspiring, bro. Keep inspiring.
Absolutely. All right, so my guy. It, man. It's Mark Whitten with the Real Estate Money Club, Emory Jones, Rock Nation. Bet on yourself, man, and everybody have a good night.
Wow.